All right, so this is the DB90. This is the metronome that's at the church. You'll have a power button right here, turns it off and on. As long as it's plugged in, it's going to save any memory that you put inside of it. So all of these basically deal with different subdivisions. This is 120 BPM, and it has an accent on every one. Here you can see where the time signature is. You shouldn't have to mess with that because the way that we usually set up the metronome, we can kind of avoid doing that. If you want eighth note subdivision, you can... You're being called right now.
Just keep going.
I'm distracted. Okay, whatever. You can use the eighth note subdivision in order to get that sound. If you're doing 4/4, sometimes that's useful. Usually, all the other band members like to have that little bit of subdivision. What happens frequently is on 6/8 songs, you might see a BPM that's fairly high, like Jesus You Alone, the BPM's 160. Or if you're on a song like My Jesus, I Love Thee, which isn't 6/8, it's called 4/4 on here, but it's a triplet subdivision. There are different ways that you can approach getting the subdivision correctly. So if Jesus You Alone, who is the great King of Glory, right? That's kind of the pulse. Usually we just go to the BPM. Right. Who is the great King? So I just put the BPM at 160, and that gives all the subdivision. There's no accent. We usually don't do an accent on a song like that. Now, if you want to set that BPM, which we usually set the BPM, it makes it easy to switch between songs. You're going to want to hit this button, right? And you're gonna see this starts to blink. This tells you what memory it's on. And then you hit it a second time, and it should solidify it. So when you hit memory, now the memory thing's blinking. You can scroll through all the different songs. Now it's on memory 1, and it's saved 160. So I can go to whatever BPM and go back to memory 1, and it's still at 160. So you can do that and set all the songs. I see the next song that we have is In Christ Alone. So In Christ Alone, what you can do is you can hit the memory and go to 2, and then hit the memory to stop. Now, for this song, we usually don't use the accent, so if you always just want to make sure the accent's down. Since this is 3/4, I would set it... Whoa, hold up.
Christ alone.
That's... okay. Interesting. I don't remember it being this song for some reason. Okay, yeah, so I guess that one... This eighth note subdivision is the normal BPM, so you don't need to bother with the eighth note. So in order to set this one, you just hit right. That's going to blink again, and then right again, and that will solidify that. So you can move on to memory 3. Sorry, this is my metronome, so it doesn't have all the things. My Jesus, I Love Thee. It says 63 BPM and 4/4, so I'll set it to 63 BPM. But this is actually a song in 12/8, so I'm actually going to turn on the triplets. My Jesus, right? That's basically the feel of the song, and you can see you can put the subdivision slightly lower than the quarter note, so you can just get the song to sound that way. Now, go through the same process, right? Hit memory again, take the accent down. For some reason, the default memory is not normal for most of them, so you might need to tweak them a little bit. So the next song is Enough. That says 6/8 and 140 BPM, so my guess is that all you need to do is set it to the BPM, and you don't need to mess with any of the subdivision.
I am not what I make.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So right, and then that'll solve that. Now, I thought so. So because my metronome, the default settings got reset, just in case if this happens, you'll notice this number is now 2. So if I go back to memory 4, the number is 1. Go to memory 5, it's 2. And this is the voice. So if you go down here and press voice, the voice thing will start blinking, and you can set it back to 1. If it sounds like 2, it's going to sound like that, so it'll throw everyone off. So we just default to 1, so it sounds normal. And then you hit tempo again to go back to adjusting the BPM. So this song is 98 BPM. This might be that might be a judgment call about whether or not there's going to be subdivision on this one. That's kind of up to you. You might run through the song once to see, okay, does the subdivision feel right for everyone, or is it too much sound coming from the metronome? Then you can go through and write, and notice when you write and you switch memory, the voice is also saved. So you don't have to mess with any of the time signature stuff. The only 2 subdivisions you'll ever use are the 8th note and the triplet. So yeah.
So if we go back to 1 and he's doing the set, like how does he go from song 1 to song 2 to song 3? Can you take me to song 1?
Well, we're on song 1 right now.
Okay. So
it's the whatever number the memory is on. If you set the tempos in order, song 1 is always going to be 1. Song 2 is always going to be song 2, is always going to be memory 2. So you have to set the BPM in order. So don't set like the BPM for song 1 and then the BPM for song 5, because then when you go to memory 2, it'll take you to song 5 instead. So just go in order, and you should be fine.
So he's at song 1. He wants to get to song 2. Yeah. What do you do? Turn the wheel.
You press memory.
Okay.
And then you turn this to 2.
Okay. And then it's good.
Yeah.
It'll just.
Okay. You can even let the metronome run, and it'll switch between songs. So this is song 3, song 4, song 5.
Oh, so he doesn't have to press a button. No. It's just turning the dial.
Well, you have to make sure that the memory thing is blinking.
Okay.
If the memory thing is not blinking, you're going to change the BPM instead of the memory.
Okay.
So make sure the memory thing is blinking.
Okay.
And
so he will, for the next song, he will have to hit the memory button and then the dial.
Well, unless you leave the memory. Well, yeah, I guess if you just leave the memory button blinking.
Okay.
You can just cycle through.
Okay.
Now, something that's helpful for when you're inside of the drum box, sometimes it's kind of dark, so you can just hit this light, and it'll light this up, so it'll be easier to see, Now, and you can even hit the light while the memory thing's blinking, and it won't affect the memory thing. So, yeah, that should be everything that you need to know. And if for some reason this gets messed up, if you press beat/pattern, that messes with the time signature, but I highly doubt that anything will get messed up there, because everything that we've been... the memory shouldn't have been reset from the last time we set it. So all the voices should be 1, and all of the tempo, the time signatures should be on 4. Just hit 4, sorry. You might if you hit beat and pattern, you might have to hit it a couple times to make sure that you're back on track. But now we're on tempo, so yeah.
Thanks. Is that it?
Yep.
Thanks.